figure this sooner rather than later.
Ay, ese caballero. Hablar con Don Enano.
Envoy, you're probably here to see how I'm doing, yeah? Well, I'm doing great. I always knew my home would destroy itself from within. I just never thought I'd get a chance to stop it. Right. If you get any more sappy, I'll think you've turned into a tree. But enough of that. You have a lot to do, and I'm right behind you. Right, changing the subject. You too.
Ah, ¿queréis seguir? Bueno.
Envoy, I've seen Mount Forgia erupt before, but never like that. It's like it was angry, like it was screaming in pain. I don't know what really happened, but I assume Sapadal was involved.
A todo esto, el logro que soltó casi al final del capítulo anterior era el de haber encontrado todas las mazmorras del área. Lo quiere decir que me faltan mazmorras en las áreas anteriores.
Oh, they overreacted. I see. Just a tiny baby god throwing a tantrum, blowing up the land and killing everyone. Poor thing. They must be terrified. Anyway. Thanks for talking. Envoy? Blacked out at that Aedyr and the lava tubes beneath Solace. But it seemed different somehow. Right. I actually believe you. This is madness, Envoy. You spoke to the founder of Solace. Well, that's not what I was expecting. People in Solace always claim they're speaking the word of Nandru. And here you are, actually hearing from the man. Doesn't even really matter what he said if you ask me. There are hundreds of Pargrunan who'd give anything to hear Nandru's voice. Huh. Blessed stay impressive is what that is. Envoy, what do you need? If I must.
Yata.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? If only it were that easy. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. And only one chance to get it right. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Mesivernal, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valiant silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Who could rest at a time like this? I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like a dungeon, except the wardens were the prisoners. You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep, but you left it standing. Why? Thank you for that. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Or perhaps you don't give yourself enough. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting.
Todo caso.
You too.
Vámonos. Zona nueva, ¿no? Me estáis recontra weyando. Me estáis recontra weyando. ¿Cuántos puntos tengo? 1. No quiero de exploración.
Looks like a dead end. I stand corrected.
Backpolk Horizon. Horizon primero. O 1, no sé. Ay, mira, y eso es el castillo, mis amigos enanos.
Someone's eager to meet us.
Carta de Time. Querida Lengrad. No sé cómo, pero llegué al jardín. El último que recuerdo es perderme mientras atravesaba el bosque, pasar por un volcán y aquí estoy. Puede que todo haya sido un sueño. Ah, ya. Mira tú. Qué wea. Ah, so concha tu madre.
Gather round. I think this is the only way down. After you.
No quiero. Ay, yo no quiero hablar con. Pero en este momento no quiero hablar.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure. Darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. deer leaps at its reflection in the lake. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have
¿Qué
been.
habla en plural?
The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We feel nothing amiss. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
No sé qué voy a hacer. Mira quién aparece.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
I'm everywhere my tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Hell? It has forged the iron of its own restraints. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Work that sullies one hand meets out justice with the next. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I did. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. A regrettable consequence of a necessary war. History followed the course of law because I ensured it.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Aedyr is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying the rod until it understands. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Lindos críticos.
That was a close one.
What is that? I know that place, right?
Es donde... ¿Es donde se suicidaron los locos?
No. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. What I am now is much better than what I was becoming then. That much is certain.
Oh, I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the gods' sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
It was a burden I wasn't ready to carry. I went out on patrol nearly every rotation, looking for Razvan or death, or ideally, both. Don't be like me, Marius. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Majesty, how are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know? Sorry, envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right? Right. As we were saying. I'm alright.
Saying goodbye, that's the part.
Another soul for the wheel. Couldn't have done it better.
Y igual Mario está peleando también. Qué bacán, ¿no?
Got them all.
Bueno, oh, tener a los 4 en la pelea final. Sería la... ¿Qué estaría? Una puerta secreta. Elegante nuevo. Invoca 3 esqueletos con mentir a tu lado. Ya.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad?
Perdónanos, dice el libro extraño. Ay, bueno, se van a activar todos estos juegos. Te tocó, flaca.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you. Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castell. Welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting a long time for this. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Even a god can learn to regret.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade.
Don't be. Nurtured or neglected, Every garden dies in time. We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
La tocará a ti también, chiquitita. Chiquis. Chiquis.
That's done. What, like it's hard? Ladrar al perro. ¿Por qué creo que voy a terminar con todos peleados? Ay, este perro. Ya, puede llegar hasta acá. Ay, este perro. Perrete. Háblame. El capítulo va a ser largo. Vamos por orden. Maese enano.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. It was, right. But it was easier than I thought it would be. Thanks to you, I think I was ready for something like this. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. I guess not, huh? You probably never expected to die and come right back either. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would... Become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway.
Until next time.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sabadal's. That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand, and it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
Giada's parents would be proud, and maybe a bit worried.
When you find Sabadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sabadal up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place. Lucky thing your emperor sent his best representative as his envoy, right? You'll have your work cut out for you. And some days you wake up and the deck of your ship's covered in bird shit. You can clean it up or you can step in it. That's the choice. The Steel Garrote leveled fewer. Even if Animancers aren't the most popular bunch, everyone gets nervous when fields burn. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise Animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. I don't think anyone else is going to understand the indirectly. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Aedyr's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
Fin. Ahora subió, güey.
What a massacre. Cool. Big mistake.
¿En serio? Pero no tengo... Ah, en personaje. Ay, sí. Está saltando muy pegado. Deje otro, weón. Creo que no se pare.
What a massacre.
Hay un mecanismo. ¿Qué hace este perro culiado?
Ease ahead.
Dios mío. Ya, está abriendo. Y ahí para acá.
Belongs to Tama.
Sí. Le toca a Kai. Dios mío.
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, or heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. Yeah. I never realized what an injustice I was doing to us both. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. Now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain?
Ni idea.
True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Ay. Que es tú una más pequeña. Pequeña, pequeña, pequeña. Pequeña. Ya lo vean. Acá. No. No. Ya.
That was a close one.
What, like it's hard?
No pasó nada. Aquí me estoy alejando. Era el tercero. Señoritas. ¿Qué gracia tiene? Yo le crítico. Vamos a pasar para allá sin... Vamos, señores, no... ¿Ah?
To see all this in its heyday, in its full splendor.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Creo que puedo llegar por allá. Hay un Adra ahí. Ya, vamos. A darle átomos, a darle. Madre que hay esqueletos, ¿no? Menos. Menos. Muerto. ¿Y qué? Concha tu madre. No, un giro, concha tu madre, un giro. Bueno, los monos curiosos duros las que Inevitabilidad, no sé cuánta habilidad. Inevitabilidad. Eso. Hace daño. Ay, no.
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before. The shale rises to smother us. Keep them out. Keep us in. We feel no spark of the Tibari Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. The deer, the owls in our trunk, they took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. We should have heard a warning on the breeze. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then, they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. They could not destroy us. They would destroy all who knew us. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save
Estaba
ourselves.
triste, weón.
Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. We are the lamp, the bonfire, forces to be controlled. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. We are the rain, the swaying grass. What do they have to fear? We speak, though we are bound. Perhaps our soul was always free. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Logro completaste todos los recuerdos antiguos. Ya esto parece que es lo último del juego. Aunque igual me quedan cosas por hacer, pero... De hecho, este martillo. Oh, se metieron en el jet.
East ahead.
complicada la zona esta. Complicada la zona, señores. No juego.
I'm down.
Ease ahead.
Time for payback. This place feels familiar.
Te toca.
Let's go inside. This is the library from my dreams. It's real? Look at all these tablets. Actual written records. Oh, somebody pinch me. And there's Eve. I wonder who she was. She looks sad and familiar. Garlowain's gonads. Look! It's even the same hearth from my dream. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. Must you always default to military tactics? Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that.
La hija.
No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akida. Once the attacks started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Must it always be literal blood? Oh, if all the Akedans outside were with you, you would have heard them as they were killed. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. It really speaks to her dedication. Our dedication. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akida, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akida will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? You're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think? I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I am so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, Yatsley. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akida. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Complicado. Estamos todos juntos en esto. Completaste todos los momentos de los compañeros en el jardín. Pancho tu madre, mira, vamos a recorrer falta todo. Y Ana, vamos a llegar hasta el siguiente campamento. Ay, veo abajo también. Broche de llave incendiaria, tu daño de fuego crece. Ya. Tiene 50% de probabilidad de que el fuego trate y haga daño a los buenos cerdos. Campamento.
This place seems less like a death trap. Maybe we could stop, catch our breath. I think we've found Sapadal's home.
That's it.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
Had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. We all could. But I don't think we'll get it. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Sapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything?
I'm partial to a nice bottle of Pargroon Wodak myself.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall there. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you found your own killer and turned him in. It's rare to choose justice over vengeance, especially in the living lands. But you stood by your principles. I think that's where you get your strength.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm, how you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
That doesn't mean it's Giada's scary story time, does it?
I thought my stories were insightful.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we? Sleep well, my friends.
Ya, vamos a dejar hasta acá.
So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No. They were Sapadal's dreams given life. Ancient sentinels bound by loyalty.
And they were plants because...
That's all Sapadal knew how to make. Smith, a baker, cakes. A gardener, gardens.
Right, I understand.
It's all right if you don't.
Good, because I really don't.